What's up, family? Man, it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. God got me up making this video for you guys. It's early February 27th. Um, man, heavy is the price. Heavy is the price, you know. It's a trip because I didn't get anything last night to make this video. You know what I mean? I was talking to God all night. Man, what am I supposed to talk about? What am I supposed to share with the people? And I didn't get anything. And as I was sleeping, he woke me up like at 2 something this morning. Heavy is the price. Heavy is the price. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. You know what I mean? We got to grow up, family. We have to grow up. You guys hear me say that all the time. Start off with a story. I've used it a couple of times. And then we're going to go in. You know what I mean? We're going to go in, and some of you ain't going to like it. And it is what it is. Some of you are going to get offended. Some of you are going to get triggered. And again, that's not the reason why I make these videos. I don't make these videos for us to get pissed or anything else. I just share this information, you know what I mean? And we do with it with what we do with it, you know what I mean? Story of a man, you know, they knew it was gonna rain. This city knew it was gonna rain, and it was gonna be a real bad storm. And they were trying to evacuate everybody. And this man was real religious. He wasn't trying to hear the warning. He heard the warnings. He scoffed at the warnings, talking about, my God to deliver me, and I'm not worried about y'all storm, and whoop de whoop, and you know, there's a man-made storm, and you know, y'all just trying to get the land, and da-da-da-da. He's going off on his little tangents. He didn't believe in the storm. He didn't believe the storm was going to be as bad as it was. Stay with me, we're going to go somewhere. The rains came, the oceans rose, the floods came. They sent the guy in on a boat to get him. Was it a paramedic? Not a paramedic, but a fire guy, whatever you call those people, fire rescue, and to get this guy. He wasn't trying to leave his house. He built this house. His wife lived in his house with him. He raised his kids in his house, and God was going to protect him. This is not how God was going to take him out. People on the boat left. Floods came higher and higher. The house is flooded. The man's up on the roof. Helicopter comes to retrieve him. He's not leaving. He's praying. He's talking to God, and God ain't taking him out like this. He's not abandoning his dream. He's not abandoning his house. He's not abandoning what God has given him. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. The waters rose. The man was swept away and drowned. Went to heaven to see God. God asked him, why didn't you leave? Why did you drown? Why did you commit suicide? And the man's indignant. I didn't commit suicide. You let me drown, and da-da-da. He's mad at God because God didn't come rescue him. And God told him, I sent the people on the news to tell you to leave. You didn't leave. I sent the fire rescue people in the boat to get you to leave. You didn't leave. I sent the helicopter to get you to leave. You didn't leave. I sent you 3 times. I sent you word and message to leave. You chose not to leave. I didn't abandon you. I didn't reject you. I didn't lie to you. I didn't deliver you the way you thought I was going to deliver you. And because of your ignorance, you paid a heavy price. Because of your willful ignorance, you're going to pay a heavy price. And that's the message today. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. God help me. Many of you know, if you watched my videos for a while, you know that, man, I've talked about this a number of times, that, man, there's so many women that I liked, that I fell in love with. The relationships didn't work. And it's a trip because I didn't understand it at the time. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. When I got this young lady, my last wife, I was telling her, I said, you know what, it's a trip how all the women that I really cared about, that I got in a relationship with, I spoiled them, and I did so much for them. And then it got to a point where I guess they didn't need me anymore, and they left. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere, I promise you. I was able to recognize the patterns, but I didn't understand it. So I was talking to her, and I was like, we're dating at the time, and I was like, man, don't get so comfortable, don't get so high on yourself that you do me like these other women did. That you leave me like all these other women did. I thought I understood what was taking place. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. And she was like, no, I'll never leave, and da-da-da-da. You know, she comforted me in that area. I didn't understand that I had abandonment issues. Thought I'd resolved that. I thought I had resolved that when my wife passed away. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. I thought I resolved my mama issues. My mama abandoned me when my wife passed away in 2015 of breast cancer. I thought I resolved that after that. And what God had to show me was, because of her unresolved issues, she also had abandonment issues. Father wasn't in her life. Her husband, first husband, had abandoned her, cheated on her, and left her for a younger woman, and all this other stuff. She talked like she had resolved that stuff. Like she came to grips with her abandonment issues. I thought I had resolved my abandonment issues. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. One day we were having a conversation. She came home and she was on one. And it was full blown. She thought I wanted to leave her. She thought I was gonna kick her to the curb. That was not my intentions. Nowhere close to that. At all. Just like I wasn't gonna leave any of the other women in the past. I wasn't gonna leave those that left me. You know what I mean? Heavy is the price of our ignorance. She believed it. She thought it, she believed it. And so because of her unresolved issues, her mind was, I'm leaving you before you leave me. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to dog you out before you get me. And da, 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 da. And she went to full-blown, how do you say this? Trauma-based response. You know what I mean? She went into full-blown response to her fears, her insecurities. She started some stuff that she couldn't handle. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. She did a whole bunch of stuff to make me leave. To get me out the house. To the point of calling the cops and having me escorted out in cuffs. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. All because she thought something. All because she believed something. It wasn't true in any way, shape, or form. But she thought it and believed it. Just like this guy on the rooftop. He thought God was going to deliver him. He thought God was going to spare his house and his home because he was a Christian. Because he believed in God. Because he believed he had a connection and relationship with God. He thought something and believed something. And it cost him his life. What thoughts are you holding that's costing you everything? What have you done in your life because you thought something and you believed it and you had to pay a heavy price for it? Heavy is the price of our ignorance. I didn't understand that I still had my abandonment issues until I was locked up in that holding tank. And God was replaying everything to me. I was pissed, angry as fuck. And God had to calm me down and like, no. We're not doing that. Elijah, we're not doing that no more. Elijah, we're not going down that path anymore. Elijah, you got to sit here and grow the fuck up. You're going to sit here until you grow the fuck up. You're going to sit here until you face this. You're going to sit here until you resolve this. However long you want to sit here, that's however long it's going to take for you to fix this shit. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. Elijah, until you face your fucking shit, I'm going to make you sit here. However long you sit here, the choice is yours. But you're going to face this shit. You're going to stop avoiding this shit right here. And so I sat there and I processed everything that God was showing me. And I sat there and it's like, oh my God, man, I thought I resolved this and da. And I no longer blamed her. Stay with me. She's responsible for her actions. She's responsible for her thoughts. She's responsible for what she did. That ain't got nothing to do with me. She's responsible for her actions. And she's going to have to pay a heavy fucking price for that shit. Just like I had to pay a heavy price for not dealing with my abandonment issues. Now I'm sitting in the jail. Trying to process everything. Trying to make sense of everything. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. See, so many of us, we want a man, we want a woman, we want this, but there's something that we've done, there's something that we believe that's fucking us up. that's keeping that from us. And so often we blame everybody else. So often it's easy for us to blame my exes were just trash and they were just da-da-da-da and da-da-da. And it's like, no. There was something about you that kept attracting people like that. There's something about you that kept you on that frequency. There's something about you that God had to teach a motherfucking lesson to, and your ignorant ass wouldn't grow the fuck up and learn the lesson. Why wouldn't you grow up and deal with your shit? And so many of us, we thought we dealt with this shit. We faced it. We acknowledged it. But we never fucking resolved it. We faced it. We acknowledged it. But we never really dove deep. And so God has brought different people into our lives, different situations into our lives that hurt us bad, that fucked us up, that flipped our whole world upside down, that cost us every fucking thing. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. It's a whole lot of crazy people. And then I shouldn't say crazy, but there's a whole lot of people that believe, okay, man, I could run around, pick up these poisonous snakes because the Bible tells me that I'll be able to handle deadly serpents and they won't do me any harm. And so they're running around and dancing and all these freaking poisonous snakes. And then when they get bitten and die, they want to get pissed. And they want to say the Bible's a lie. You know what I mean? That it's not true. You're entitled to believe what you want to believe. You're entitled to think what you want to think. Heavy is the price for your ignorance. So a whole lot of people think that they could just wild out and do what the hell they want to do. Until that time comes. That time is when God shows them the reality. When God says, you got to pay the price for this. When God says, you're going to have to stop acting like a fucking victim and grow the fuck up. You're going to have to stop acting like a spoiled ass motherfucking brat and grow the fuck up. And understand what you've done with your life. Understand the pain and the trauma you caused with your life. That may not have been your intentions, but you out there acting reckless and hoeing and doing the most and just wilding out. You've left a lot of broken hearts in the past. You dogged out a lot of good people who believed in you, who trusted you, who was committed to you. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. It's a whole lot of people in prison that is never getting out. Because they're doing some stupid stuff. They didn't think that, man, the laws applied to them. They didn't think that they were going to get caught. They thought they were smarter than what they really were. Heavy is the price for our ignorance. And when they sit there and think about it, damn, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. After they sat there in that jail cell for 15, 20, 25, 30 years, it wasn't worth it. Whatever their actions were, It wasn't worth it. Heavy is the price for our ignorance. It's a whole lot of people who know that they've messed up good relationships, who are tormented now with guilt and shame because they know they fucked up and they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to forgive themselves. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. Man, we got to grow up. We have to grow up. Somebody asked, am I getting back with my ex? No. No, I'm not. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. That was a valuable lesson. That was a costly lesson. It was a humbling lesson. One that I should have learned a long time ago, but I never did. I thought I was beyond that. I thought I dealt with that issue. And God had to show me that I hadn't. The issue had been abandoned. And God had to show me, no, you got more to understand. And you refuse to grow up and face this and deal with this. And so that was a karmic lesson for me. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. I'm grateful for the lesson. It was painful as hell. It cost me a lot. But I'm humbled and I'm grateful for it. I am. I'm not mad at the person. I have nothing but love for that person. Nothing but love for them. Even though I went through all of that. Heavy is the price for our ignorance. I should have dealt with my shit. If I had dealt with my shit, I probably wouldn't even been in that relationship. I wouldn't even been in that relationship. So I can't get mad at them for doing what they did. If I did what I did, I wouldn't have been there. I know what I know now because I was there. Heavy is the price of our ignorance. We have to grow up. We have to stop blaming everybody. We have to stop running away from the difficult situations and the difficult topics. And this is the reason why I talk about the stuff that I do. And I get it, it's hard to sit there and listen to stuff like this all the time. Imagine what it's like, God waking you up in the middle of the night and telling you, you got to deal with this. This is my life. Man, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. Man, I hope and pray that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you, to challenge your way of thinking. Man, we got to deal with our stuff. We got to stop running from reality. You're entitled to your opinions. You're entitled to believe and think what you want. It doesn't make it true. Happy healing. Peace.